Once upon a time, Takumi ruled the arena because of his close counter, and people had to run things that could counter him. But then his rule one day came to an abrupt end when skill inheritance came about and brought far more options for other people than the pineapple himself. And so he faded into obscurity, failed even by the weapon refinery. However, his close counter lives on, and today I shall show off some of the finest cuisines you can serve with pineapple now that everyone gets one. These are my finest brain damage builds. Once you follow my guide, you will become a much stronger player than before. That being said, I will be featuring these units in their +0 versions, though they can only get stronger if they hit +10. Being +0 has the advantage of killing non-fully merged units easier, as they have slightly less HP. Alright, now for the first dish. We will start things off easy with a very practical and easy to use build featuring the giraffe girl, Sophia. Sophia is very easily obtained. Being a 3 to 4 star unit, she's also part of the free map rotation. And as such, she also has the added benefit of appearing in the arena as a bonus unit in the regular cycle. Which, by the way, empowers her even further now that we have that stupid +10 HP and 4 to all stats Tempest Trials buff in the arena. As a result, she's a great beginner's choice unit for close counter and is an investment you won't regret. Now, what makes Sophia powerful is her ridiculous min-max stats, especially for a free-to-play unit. As she is slow as hell, she gets to have amazing mixed defenses, hitting a natural of 28 dev and 29 res, making her into a wall, especially to green units. Now, weapons such as Raven will help extend this to colorless units. Other options such as Christmas Starja's Candle Bra is also very viable, though at that point you could just use her or get close counter and the candle off of her instead. Anyway, because of her amazing mixed defenses, Sophia can shut down a wide variety of units even without Triangle Adept. And with close counter, she can now bait melee units to death while shrugging off arrows, ninja stars, and the occasional hand cancer from Grima, and then strangle them all to death with her long ass neck. I recommend picking plus dev minus SP minus speed IVs to further take advantage of these virtues. Now for her, I like picking up Ignis, because that way after tanking and killing someone with a double attack from quick repose, she'll have a high powered weapon triangle ignoring attack to murder someone else on the player phase. Although, if you really want to be sure, Bonfire is a good way to murder someone in the very same round. For her C slots, it's flexible as always, although she has good enough res to use ploys and is tanky enough to deploy enemy phase smoke. Her seal slot would ideally be something that makes her tanky, like close or distant defense, or if you use guard, a quick repulse seal. All in all, Sophia is a powerful character. Easy to obtain, and easy to +10. Legend has it that she is one of those monsters who does her best. It is said that when she attacks, her boobs grow bigger. She's a terrifying monster, and the best artist in the world, Zaza, captures her unique features perfectly. I highly recommend looking into her as a candidate for close counter, as the other two units similar to her, Christmas Starja is a limited seasonal unit. She's also armored and can't get into positions as easily, while Leon is a Grand Hero Battle Reward who can't be +10 yet and can't use IVs. It probably also doesn't help that he has less dev than Sophia to begin with. Next up, I present you all with another horrifying monster, Furion. After getting ousted by the Order of Heroes, Furion at one point turned into Furion Alter, Volter for short, and terrorized the countryside until he was finally defeated by the forces of Dr. Sakura. Since then, he has curbed his drug addiction and trained to become an even more stronger monster. Now, much like Sophia, Furion is another unit that is part of the free unit summoning table, so he also shows up in the arena regularly and is subject to amazing boosts. And also like Sophia, Furion has min-max stats. In his case, he has very high HP, highest among ranged units in fact, but low res, allowing him to pull off another type of shenanigan. With this particular build, Furion uses Clarice's bow, which gives him the ability to reduce the attack and speed of enemy units by 5. I recommend picking up the speed refinement for this thing because Furion needs the speed to keep himself from getting doubled so that he can take advantage of his massive HP pool. Another reason for this is that this particular Furion uses Wind Sweep or Water Sweep to safely deliver his debuffs. And once the debuffs get applied, Furion essentially becomes a unit with 44 speed, 31 dev, and 15 res at +0, without any bonuses whatsoever. This, on top of his 48 base HP, turned him into a defensive juggernaut. Even mages can't kill him because his massive HP pool gives him amazing dual defenses. And since sweep skills doesn't do anything to your counterattacks, Furion will get the double after getting hit by a single enemy attack in most cases, as 44 speed is really fast for a +0 unit. Those who he can't double, well, Furion probably already shot him once with sweep, so he will kill them on the counterattack. Of course, desperation will bypass this, but you can counter that by having a dancer move Furion and shoot him again. Or you can just pick someone else to shoot in the face and spread that debuff. Now, C slots can be particularly cruel. You can either run Panic Ploy to further reduce enemy stats as tactic skills and emblem buffs are on the rise, or you can use Death Smoke to weaken the enemy around your target, further debuffing them, allowing Furion to counter them all to death on the next turn. For his seal slot, the simple plus speed is good enough to make sure he has real speed to work with, but phantom speed is also a very nice option to make sure water sweep hits their mark. I went with bonfire for this build because unlike Sophia, Furion will only get hit once. In addition to this, because he would build up a charge already thanks to firing a sweep shot, he will double counter into a lethal bonfire. This ridiculous build is Furion's revenge, and he will take much pleasure in all of this. Next is Halloween Jakob. This is a particularly cruel build I use, mixing both the virtues of his horrifying Bold Fighter build with his terrifying Vengeful Fighter build. In using Guard Bowl with plus dev, Jakob can hit a staggering 36 dev at +0 merges, and if you're like me and end up getting plus res IV rather than plus attack, Jakob ends up with a horrifying 35 res on top of this, making him very hard to take down in melee by both martial weapons and dragons alike. This makes him the perfect candidate for close counter. Never mind range units, by the way, who will get completely destroyed by God Bow on top of all these defenses. Though you could also use Slaying Bow, in which case I think you should pick up Ignis instead. Meanwhile, thanks to Bold Fighter, Jakob can take the initiative and launch a high-powered double on the enemy. And thanks to Bold Fighter being broken as hell and gives +1 charges, if the enemy counterattack, he will get to unleash a devastating bonfire on the second attack, annihilating his enemy. On the defense, Jakob does much of the same thing thanks to his quick repulse seal, though he will take 2 hits. But he will survive thanks to his ridiculous defenses with no weapon triangle weaknesses, and then rip someone's face off. I've debated for a while about rather running Ignis or Bonfire, but I think I prefer the Guard Bowl Bonfire approach a little more because then you can tank a wider variety of things, such as a high-powered Blade Mage, or a shot from Makaya, or Kinshi Hinoka. Now on top of all this, you have Deathploy with his high res to further screw with the enemy. So honestly, Ignis is probably overkill. After this, we have my flagship build, Savage Vantage, on Jenny. Now my Jenny currently is plus speed, so if you end up with a plus attack version, you can actually catch up to her even at +0. And if you hadn't already seen, here's a recap of what she does. Let's see. I will survive this attack. Good. You. Let's see, how should I cook this? First, let's bring ourselves to Vantage range with this. Now, let us behold Jenny's sad voice. Now we walk the path of pain. Let's share our pain.
Here I go.
Okay, Burger King will die from this, and then CFB will take 15. Oh yes, that's really sweet. Yes, I'm looking at this, and well, it would appear that massacre we talked about is about to occur, and it'll all start from Burger King. Let's go. Well, it's over. I'm just gonna sit back and watch as Jenny slaughter all these people. Raffle sheep noises! That's one down, and then I spill all kinds of pain to the rest of the team, and here you go, you get some! Who's next? Oh, Effie with your Berkut's Lance. Oh yeah, that's gonna help a lot. Ooh, oh. And now they're all eaten by Jenny, a violent sheep. As you can see, Savage Vantage allows Jenny to dish out massive chunks of AoE damage with Pain Plus and double Savage Blow 3, and then rip the enemy team apart as Pain continues to reduce their HP while she counterattacks them all to death. Even the aforementioned Jakob I showed earlier doesn't stand a chance against this technique because 1. This technique works in my enemy phase, so he doesn't get any God Bowl bonuses. And 2, Jenny only needs to do 1 damage to finish someone off. This is an extremely terrifying build that only the cruelest brain damage person could come up with, and is now widely copied today. The weakness of this build, however, is getting started. As Jenny is particularly slow, she likely won't survive a counterattack to get into Vantage range, unless, say, she hits a target that can counterattack, such as after getting hit by a candlelight from the Dark Overlord Elise. She's within miracle range. She hits a slow or weak target who can't kill her on a counter, like a mage target or a heavily debuff unit, receiving Pain Plus herself, or get her HP swapped with some dying dude with reciprocal aid. This technique is also countered by 3 things: Hardy Bearing, Fire Sweep Weapons, or a Water Sweep user. As such, you have to target and kill those guys first. Fortunately though, this actually creates an opportunity for you, because 1, nobody uses Hardy Bearings. 2, Fire Sweep Weapons can't counterattack, so you can actually just kill them and use them as pain focal points to spread pain all over the place. Then afterwards, you can simply take a single attack on the enemy face, survive, and then kill someone on the counter. Then murder the rest of the team with a clean Vantage sweep. And finally, Order Sweep users can't double on initiation, so you can just let them bring you to Vantage range for free, murder them on your turn, and then proceed to sweep as usual. Now of course, there are other healers who can pull off this setup a little easier, such as fast and tanky healers like the Demon Maria and Clarine, or strong and speedy attackers like the Dark Overlord Elise and Sarah. But none of them can come close to the sheer destructive ability that is the Sheep Path. Well, except maybe plus attack Elise, because she has Jenny DNA within her body. Next up, we have Dr. Sakura, one of the most terrifying healers in this world. With a mixed defenses of 28 and 30, she can tank a wide variety of attacks. However, it doesn't end here. Using her patented Fear Plus, Sakura can reach 35 death and 37 res with a mere plus 0 merges. By using Razzle Dazzle, Sakura can safely apply these debuffs on the enemy, ignoring any counterattacks and then taking damage only from the enemy face. By adding close defense on top of this mix, close counter Sakura now can rip people to shreds, hitting the res while protected by 40 death and 42 res. This means that Sakura not only can protect her team from damage, but has also become invulnerable as her allies stack even more defenses on her, while her close counter continues to debuff the enemy with Fear Plus. This build can also be used with the derpy Lissa, though she's a bit slower and she can potentially hit harder or tank harder. Combine with Miracle and you'll be hard pressed to ever take her down. Now the C-slot speed ploy allows Dr. Sakura to further weaken the enemy, allowing her to either double or prevent doubles herself, or for her team to take care of it for her. And finally, another healer, such as Latch Sis, can use close counter. You see, after getting bitten by Delthea and turning into a vampire lolly, Latch Sis has developed an unholy technique where she latches onto an enemy target and sucks their life force. Hence why she's called Latch Sis, due to her being a sister that latches onto you and suck you completely dry. Combined with close defense and attack ploy, Latch Sis can reach 32 defense and 40 resistance. While not as scary as Dr. Sakura's absolute defense, Quick Repulse allows her to suck twice regardless, and because she gets to heal after taking a blow, this becomes another type of tanking, as the life force she sucks is added to her defense. As a vampire, after sucking enough blood, Latch Sis can revive with Miracle if someone did manage to land what would be a killing blow on her. This is very spooky, and I wet my bed just thinking about it. Other high attack healers can also pull off this technique effectively, such as Jenny, Sarah, and Elise. The latter two can is also fast enough to prevent doubles, allowing them to suck into a net gain a little easier. Now, finally, we have one last build, though not at +0 because she's the type of unit that gets chaotically stronger as she feasts on herself. Dark Emperor Nino. Not only is she easy to get as a 3 to 4 star hero, but she also hits hard and fast, while also carry decent defenses. At her base form, she appears to have 50 attack and 45 speed with the defense refinement on the Owl Tome. However, she becomes even faster and stronger with the help of said Owl Tome, giving her a potential of 6 to all stats. But wait, that's not all. If she gets support from Korn, she becomes a literal god on the battlefield with another 6 to all stats. With these as her final stats before any buffs from Hone, Spur, or Drive. She also gets the added benefit of being an infantry unit, allowing her to unleash her true final secret technique, Pitch Black Feng, literally in the very first round of battle. With close counter active, the Dark Emperor can control an entire area, destroying everyone and everything foolish enough to attack her. Her most ideal B skill is God, which allows her to shut down any last glimmer of hope to defeat her with an attack skill. The C slots are whatever. Res Smoke allows her to continue devastating any further enemies, even allowing her to break formation to do so, while she can buff her personal gods with Drive or Spur techniques. The Owl Tome is an incredibly dangerous tool. I highly recommend looking into it. And yes, I know some of you already have Owl Tome Nino. I've been meaning to feature this thing for quite a while now, but never got around to do so thanks to my healers using up all of my close counters. But now that I have a free Takumi. Well, that's about it for my brain damage builds that my brain can cook up with today. I'm sure there are more, but I simply forgot for now. But I'll post something when I remember. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.